The golden age of Hollywood was a time when the silver screen dazzled audiences with tales of romance, intrigue, and seduction. But did you know that behind the scenes, the lives of these stars were far more dramatic than the films they brought to life? In this video, we'll explore the lives of 20 golden age stars whose appetites for love and passion led to strings of high-profile relationships and scandalous relationships. Number 1. Lana Turner. When it came to legendary actors of the golden age, Lana Turner on and off the screen was as glamorous as her career, defined by her love life, which was of passion and scandal, defining her as a symbol of sexual excess in Hollywood. One of the most notorious chapters began with her affair with Johnny Stompanato, a mobster known for his ties to organized crime. Their relationship was not just alluring, but also dangerous. Stompanato was physically abusive, and their intense, sexually charged affair often made headlines. The situation escalated dramatically when Turner's daughter, Cheryl Crane, intervened during one of Stompanato's violent outbursts. In a moment of protection, Cheryl fatally stabbed him, which turned the story into a sensational front-page news event. This shocking incident added even more scandal to Turner's already tumultuous image, painting her as a woman caught in a web of violence and passion. Throughout her life, Turner was married 7 times, with each relationship further complicating her reputation. She had a thing for younger men, and her affairs frequently became tabloid fodder. The combination of her stunning beauty, glamorous persona, and chaotic personal life led the public to label her as a nympho, overlooking the deeper emotional struggles that fueled her actions. Turner's life was a complex variety of desire, heartbreak, and resilience. Despite the scandal, she continued to captivate audiences on screen, embodying a mix of vulnerability and strength. Yet, she has been judged harshly for her choices while battling her inner demons. Number 2. Talula Bankhead. Talula Bankhead was a force of nature, known not just for her talent as an actress, but also for her magnetic personality and her many affairs. She married actor John Emery, but her heart was often entangled with many others. Bankhead was refreshingly candid about her sexual escapades, famously declaring herself a very satisfied Jane after a memorable night with Johnny Weissmuller, the iconic Tarzan, in the pool at the Garden of Allah Hotel. This openness about her desires only added to her allure. Among her many affairs, one of the most notable was with artist Rex Whistler, who, as his biographer Anna Thomason noted, lost his virginity to Bankhead at the age of 29. Their love story was just one of many that fueled rumours and gossip about her flings. In fact, in the 1920s, the British domestic spy agency MI5 even attempted to investigate allegations that she had been seducing schoolboys at Eton College, although the headmaster refused to cooperate with their inquiries. And that's not the end even. She made sure she explored her love life, as Bankhead's romantic life was not confined to men. She was also linked to several prominent women of her time, including the talented Greta Garbo, the glamorous Marlene Dietrich, and the hard-to-understand Hattie McDaniel. She also had relationships with figures like Beatrice Lillie and Alla Nazimova, and writers such as Mercedes de Acosta and Eva Le Gallienne. These various relationships with the scandals tied to her name earned her the reputation of a nympho. Among the many others, even singer Billie Holiday found a place in Bankhead's storied love life. Number 3. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe was an iconic figure in Hollywood, known for her portrayal of the blonde bombshell characters that captivated audiences in the 1950s and early 1960s. She emerged as one of the most popular sex symbols of her time, embodying the era's sexual revolution with her sultry looks and playful demeanor. However, behind the glamorous facade, Monroe's sexual persona was crafted by Hollywood, yet it mirrored her real-life struggles with intimacy and the need for validation. One of the most infamous chapters of her life was her affair with President John F. Kennedy, which not only highlighted her status as a sexual fantasy, but also painted her as a political liability. Her breathy voice and provocative public appearances, particularly her unforgettable Happy Birthday performance for JFK, solidified her reputation as the ultimate sex symbol of her time. Despite this public image, Monroe's personal life had its challenges. She harbored a deep longing for emotional connection, often seeking it through her sexual relationships. Her marriages to Joe DiMaggio and Arthur Miller, along with her rumoured affairs with high-profile men, had a similar pattern, one which reflected her troubling and often self-destructive relationships. Monroe's sexual image became inseparable from her identity, and she frequently felt trapped by the very persona that brought her fame. Her relentless need for male attention and validation, coupled with her stunning beauty and vulnerability, led to her being perceived as a tragic nymphomaniac, a woman whose insatiable sexual desires were both her greatest asset and her ultimate undoing. Number 4. Errol Flynn. Errol Flynn was a man of undeniable charm and charisma, often displayed as the classical bad boy of Hollywood. While he married 3 times, his romantic flings were as legendary as his roles on screen. His first marriage to actress Lily Demeter, and due to his inability to satisfy Errol Flynn, the union was fraught with tension and ultimately ended unhappily. This pattern followed Flynn throughout his life. Anyway, Flynn wasn't the one to wait around for love. He immediately got into a second marriage to Nora Eddington. Flynn's reputation as a notorious lover only grew, with whispers of his affairs echoing through Hollywood. One of the most notable was with actress Olivia de Havilland during the filming of Robin Hood. While Flynn acknowledged his attraction to her, de Havilland maintained that their romance never fully blossomed, stating, "Yes, we did fall in love, but his circumstances at the time prevented the relationship from going further." Their undeniable chemistry on screen only fueled the narrative of Flynn as a nymphomaniac, a man whose passions often led to troubling outcomes. You'd think that it ended there, but no. Flynn went ahead to marry actress Patrice Wymore. Despite his attempts to build a new life, the shadows of his past loomed large. His son Sean, who disappeared in Vietnam, was eventually declared dead, while his daughter Arnella struggled with addiction and passed away at just 44. Number 5. Elizabeth Taylor. When talking about the actors who left their mark in the golden age, Elizabeth Taylor will definitely top the list. Yet her life was far more glamorous than what she displayed on screen, filled with the brisks of romance and drama, making her one of the most talked-about figures in Hollywood history. Her beauty and talent captivated audiences, but it was her scandalous relationships that often stole the spotlight. Her affair with Eddie Fisher, who was married to her best friend Debbie Reynolds, is one of the most notorious scandals in Hollywood. This relationship not only strained her friendship with Reynolds, but also drew significant media attention. After marrying Fisher, their union was short-lived, and they divorced, which added to Taylor's reputation as a seductress. Well, that was just the beginning of a lifetime of over 8 marriages, including 2 to Richard Burton, whom Taylor famously described as the love of her life. Despite her romantic escapades, Taylor's relationships often faced public scrutiny and criticism. Her first marriage at just 18 to Conrad Nicky Hilton Jr. was a sign of her early entry into the world of love and relationships, followed by her marriage to Michael Wilding, who was significantly older than her. Her marriage to Mike Todd was marked by tragedy, as she was pregnant when they wed, but Todd died in a plane crash shortly after. This loss deeply affected Taylor, and she turned to Fisher for comfort, igniting the scandal that would follow. Despite the ups and downs of her romantic life, Taylor eventually moved on to marry Larry Fortensky, who became her last husband. Still, after Larry Fortensky, she went on to have a relationship with Colin Farrell, which she said was platonic, but who knows what went on behind closed doors. Number 6. Vivian Leigh. Vivian Leigh's life paints a complex picture of beauty, talent, and turmoil. Her marriage to Laurence Olivier was characterized by a magnetic attraction that began as an affair, while both were still married to others. This passionate connection, however, was often overshadowed by Leigh's struggles with bipolar disorder, which significantly impacted her behavior and relationships. Leigh's mental health challenges led to periods of intense emotional highs and lows, often manifesting in impulsive actions, including sexual relationships outside her marriage. During her manic episodes, she was known to engage in sexual acts, which created tension and conflict within her marriage to Olivier. This troubling dynamic added layers to her already complicated love life, making her a figure of both fascination and tragedy. Despite her fragile mental state, Leigh's allure and beauty captivated many, solidifying her status as one of Hollywood's most desirable women. Her struggles and the way they intertwined with her sexuality contributed to a mythic narrative around her life, displaying her as a woman whose sexuality was both a source of power and a potential danger. This duality only deepened the intrigue surrounding her persona, making her one of the most compelling personas in cinematic history. Number 7. Hedy Lamar. Hedy Lamar's life was just as dramatic and multifaceted as the roles she played on screen, known not only for her stunning beauty, but also for her intelligence and inventiveness. Lamar's personal life was marked by a series of tumultuous marriages and relationships. Her first marriage was to Friedrich Mandl, a wealthy arms manufacturer. Although Mandl was protective and controlling, their union was a significant chapter in Lamar's life, as it introduced her to the world of business and technology, despite its challenges. After their divorce, she moved to Hollywood and quickly became a star. There, Lamar got entangled with Gene Markey, a screenwriter and producer, which was another venture into love that ended in divorce. Their relationship was marked by the pressures of Hollywood and the complexities of their careers. Following Markey, she married actor John Loder, with whom she had her first son, James. However, the truth about James's parentage later became a source of confusion and intrigue, as Lamar initially claimed he was adopted. Moving on, Lamar got involved with Ernest Teddy Stauffer, a nightclub owner and bandleader. Their relationship was short-lived, and she soon found herself wed again, this time to Texas oilman W. Howard Leigh. Their marriage, like the others, faced its own set of challenges, leading to yet another divorce. One of her most intriguing relationships was Louis Boys, her divorce lawyer, who drafted papers for her several divorces. This marriage showed that Lamar's allure was truly hard to ignore, leading to her many entanglements and earning her the reputation of a nympho. Number 8. Ingrid Bergman. Ingrid Bergman's life was a whirlwind of romance, scandal, and extraordinary talent. She first married Petter Aron Lindström, a dentist who later became a neurosurgeon. Their marriage was marked by the pressures of Bergman's burgeoning film career. Despite her love for Lindström, Bergman found herself drawn into a series of passionate affairs, which later led to one of the most notorious scandals in Hollywood history. While filming Stromboli, Bergman began a tumultuous affair with Italian director Roberto Rossellini. Their relationship was scandalous, not only because Bergman was still married to Lindström, but also because it challenged the moral standards of the time. Bergman and Rossellini went on to get married by proxy, which only fueled the public outrage. After the scandal, Bergman returned to Europe, seeking refuge from the intense scrutiny of Hollywood. Yet she continued to be filled with passionate connections, including affairs with her directors and co-stars. Bergman was also briefly linked to Spencer Tracy while filming Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and had a notable affair with Gary Cooper during For Whom the Bell Tolls. There was even a brief romance with musician Larry Adler while entertaining troops in Europe. Bergman's charm and beauty also caught the attention of Howard Hughes, who famously bought RKO Pictures as a gift for her after they met through Cary Grant and Irene Selznick. Later in her life, after her marriage to Rossellini, she married Lars Schmidt, a theatrical entrepreneur from a wealthy Swedish shipping family. However, even during her marriage to Lindström, she had affairs with notable figures like photographer Robert Capa and actor Gregory Peck, further highlighting the complexity and intensity of her romantic relationships. Number 9. Joan Blondell. Joan Blondell's romantic life was quite eventful, marked by 3 marriages, high-profile relationships, and various challenges. She first married cinematographer George Barnes in a private ceremony in Phoenix, Arizona. While their union resulted in one child, it was short-lived. Blondell wasn't one to sit around without love. She quickly moved on to the next the same year her marriage ended. She got involved with actor Dick Powell. Together, they had a daughter named Ellen, and just like the first, their marriage was brief. Without wasting time still, she got married to producer Mike Todd. This relationship was fraught with emotional and financial turmoil, ultimately leading to their divorce. Blondell accused Todd of a dramatic incident where he allegedly held her outside a hotel window by her ankles. Todd was known for his gambling habits, which caused significant financial strain, and he even faced bankruptcy during their marriage. There's a common myth that Todd left Blondell for Elizabeth Taylor, but in reality, Blondell had already left him years before he met Taylor. Number 10. Veronica Lake. Veronica Lake's life unfolded like a film noir, filled with glamour, seduction, and ultimately tragedy. Born in the glitzy world of Hollywood, she quickly became a symbol of beauty and allure, captivating audiences with her roles as the classical femme fatale. Her on-screen presence mirrored her turbulent personal life, where the bright lights of fame often masked the shadows of her struggles. Despite her success, Lake faced multiple failed marriages, each one a reminder of her difficulties in finding lasting love. Her battles with alcoholism further complicated her existence, leading to a reputation as a difficult and self-destructive figure. The very qualities that made her a star, her beauty and sexual appeal, became double-edged swords as they drew attention to her relationships with powerful men in Hollywood, often overshadowing her talent. As her career began to decline, Lake's life spiraled out of control. The tabloids fed on her scandals, portraying her as a tragic figure caught in a whirlwind of excess and desire. The obsession with youth and beauty that defined Hollywood became her undoing, and she became a victim of the very system that had once celebrated her. Lake's romantic life displays the price of fame, where the allure of the spotlight can often lead to heart-wrenching consequences, making her a lasting symbol of the complex interplay between celebrity and personal tragedy. Number 11. Katharine Hepburn. Katharine Hepburn's life and career were nothing short of extraordinary, spanning 6 vibrant decades in Hollywood. Known for her headstrong independence and spirited personality, she became a trailblazer in an industry often dominated by conformity. Hepburn cultivated a screen persona that reflected her real-life tenacity, frequently displaying strong-willed and sophisticated women who defied societal expectations. Her versatility allowed her to excel in a variety of genres, from the light-hearted charm of screwball comedies to the depth of literary dramas. This impressive range earned her numerous accolades, including 4 Academy Awards for Best Actress, a record that remains unmatched. Hepburn's ability to captivate audiences with her performances was matched only by her fierce determination to live life on her terms. Hepburn's personal life was even more colourful. Her only marriage was to Ludlow Ogden Smith, a socialite businessman she met while studying at Bryn Mawr. However, her heart found a different path when she began a relationship with her agent, Leland Hayward. Despite both being married at the time, throughout her life, rumours circulated regarding her sexuality, with speculation about her being a lesbian or bisexual. But it seemed Hepburn was confirming these rumours as she often addressed them with humour. Yet the most significant relationship of her life was with Spencer Tracy, her co-star in 9 films. Their love affair, often described as one of Hollywood's legendary romances, they met at MGM while filming Woman of the Year. Despite Tracy remaining married throughout their relationship, the bond they shared was quite a strong one, and it was equally transformative for both actors. Hepburn's unwavering support for Tracy during his struggles with alcoholism and his complex personal life highlighted the depth of their connection. Number 12. Frances Farmer. Frances Farmer's life was marked by her rise to fame in Hollywood and the personal struggles that followed. She appeared in over a dozen feature films, captivating audiences with her talent, But her life was often overshadowed by sensationalized accounts of her mental health battles and involuntary commitments to psychiatric hospitals. Her career took off with her first major film, Rhythm on the Range, where she starred alongside the charming Bing Crosby. The experience left her starstruck. She was infatuated with him, and she felt like she was living a dream. With a booming career and a handsome husband, Leif Erikson, Frances thought she had it all. They had met on the studio lot and quickly rushed into marriage, believing they were destined for happiness. However, beneath the surface, Frances was grappling with her emotions. Shortly after starting work on Golden Boy, she fell deeply in love with playwright Clifford Odets. While she was still married, she slipped into the sheets of Odets, who ultimately betrayed her. Their relationship was intense and passionate, but it lacked the commitment she craved. One day, Frances received a devastating note from Odets. "My wife returns from Europe today, and I feel it best for us never to see each other again." This sudden end to their affair left Frances hurt, and she turned to alcohol to cope with the pain. As her marriage to Leigh began to crumble, scandal followed. Before their divorce was finalized, Leigh had already started seeing actress Margaret Hayes, adding to Frances's heartbreak. The details of their split were messy and public, further complicating her already tumultuous life. He was so eager to get on with his life and his exciting new romance that he married Hayes on the very same day his divorce went through. Number 13. Greta Garbo. Greta Garbo, a name that resonates with mystery and allure, led a life that was both glamorous and solitary. She never married, had no children, and spent much of her adult life in the quiet embrace of her own company. This independence defined her, allowing her to navigate the complex world of Hollywood on her terms. Yet she had numerous high-profile flings. Her most famous romance blossomed with John Gilbert, her frequent co-star at MGM. Their relationship began at a time when both were at the height of their careers. Gilbert, known for his charm and talent, took it upon himself to mentor Garbo, helping her refine her acting skills on set. He taught her the differences of stardom, how to socialize at lavish parties, and maneuver through the waters of studio politics. Their connection deepened, and Gilbert proposed to Garbo multiple times. After much consideration, she finally accepted, only to withdraw just before the wedding. Moving on from Gilbert, Garbo's path crossed with that of Leopold Stokowski. Their relationship, though brief, was highly publicized as they traveled across Europe together. This romance, filled with passion and the glamour of their artistic lives, added another chapter to Garbo's storied existence. Yet like many of her relationships, it was fleeting, leaving her to return to her solitary life. As time went on, speculation about Garbo's sexuality began to surface. Biographers and historians have suggested that she may have been bisexual, with intimate relationships with both men and women. Will you blame them? She had a fling with actress Lillian Tashman, as well as silent film star Louise Brooks, who claimed to have had a thing with Garbo, further fueling the intrigue surrounding her personal life. One of the most significant figures in Garbo's life was Mercedes D'Acosta, a writer known for her relationships with women. Through her friendship with Salka Vietel, Garbo met D'Acosta, and they embarked on a sporadic and tumultuous romance. Their relationship was marked by intense emotions and the struggles of navigating societal expectations, particularly in an era when such connections were often hidden away. Throughout her life, Garbo maintained an air of mystery, choosing to live largely while engaging in passionate affairs. Her relationships, both with men and women, painted a picture of a woman who was deeply a nympho. Number 14. Marion Davie. Marion Davie took to the stage dazzling audiences with her talent and charm. But it was during this performance that her life would change forever. Enter William Randolph Hearst, a powerful newspaper tycoon who couldn't resist her. When he first laid eyes on Davie, he was captivated by her beauty and charisma. Their initial encounter sparked a passionate affair that intertwined their lives in ways neither could have anticipated. Hearst recognised Davie's potential and took it upon himself to manage her career. He was not just a lover, he became her mentor, financier and promoter. With Hearst's backing, Davies transitioned from the stage to the silver screen. He established Cosmopolitan Pictures specifically to produce her films, using his newspapers and newsreels to elevate her status in the industry. Under his guidance, Marion blossomed into a star, her name becoming synonymous with Hollywood glamour. However, their relationship was not without its complications. While they shared an intense bond, both Davies and Hearst were known for their jealous attachments and were not immune to infidelity. Davies found herself entangled with other actors, including the legendary Charlie Chaplin and the charming Dick Powell. Despite the love and devotion they had for each other, the allure of Hollywood's social scene often led them to seek companionship outside their relationship. As their affair continued, rumours began to swirl around the couple, particularly regarding the conception of a child. Veronica Lake, a name that would later become iconic in cinema, was rumoured to be the result of Hearst's extramarital affair with Davies. To shield themselves from scandal, Hearst made arrangements for Davies to travel to Europe to have the child away from prying eyes. This decision was shrouded in secrecy, reflecting the lengths to which Hearst would go to protect his public image. As Lake grew, she would come to learn the truth of her origins. At the age of 11, Davies confided in her about her true parentage, revealing the complicated web of relationships that defined her existence. Hearst, too, would confirm his role as her father on her wedding day at 17. Number 15. Rita Hayworth. Rita Hayworth's life was marked by her extraordinary talent and her numerous escapades. For her, it began as a child. While touring with the Dancing Cansinos, she confided in Orson Welles about the mistreatment she faced at the hands of her father. This dark chapter haunted her, influencing her relationships and leading to a pattern of tumultuous marriages. Her mother, sensing the danger, tried to shield her by sharing a bed with her, a desperate attempt to protect her daughter, but to no avail. Despite her struggles, Hayworth's career flourished, leading to a series of high-profile marriages and affairs. Her first marriage to Edward C. Judson, at just 18, was a mix of ambition and control. While he helped her to build her career, he exerted a dominating influence over her life. Moving on from Edward, she got into a union with Orson Welles, which was hidden in secrecy until the last moment. Their marriage, like many others in her life, was complex, filled with passion, but also the weight of her past. Throughout her life, Hayworth sought love and stability, yet found herself drawn into relationships that echoed her early experiences. Her affair with Glenn Ford during the filming of Gilda became legendary, a connection that persisted through the years despite their respective marriages. Ultimately, her marriage to Prince Ali Khan seemed to offer a fresh start, but even that was fraught with challenges. Each chapter of her life reflected her search for happiness amidst the scars of her childhood, leaving a legacy that was as captivating as it was saddening, as it earned her the reputation of a nympho. Number 16. Barbara La Marr. Barbara La Marr, known for her striking beauty, was often referred to by the media as the girl who is too beautiful. Her career blossomed as she captivated audiences with her talent and charm. However, behind her on-screen persona lay a personal life filled with drama. La Marr's journey into love began with an elusive figure named Jack Lytle. According to her, they met in Yuma, Arizona, where he became infatuated with her beauty as he spotted her riding in an automobile. Their romance led to an impulsive marriage the very next day. As expected, this union was short-lived, as Lytle succumbed to pneumonia just 3 weeks later, leaving La Marr with nothing but his surname. Her first documented marriage came shortly after, to Max Lawrence, who was later revealed to be Lawrence Converse, a former soldier of fortune. In a twist of fate, Converse was already married with children when he wed La Marr under a false identity. His deception caught up with him, and he was arrested for bigamy the very next day. Just days later, he died in custody, allegedly after banging his head against the cell bars in despair, calling out for La Marr. Undeterred by her misfortunes in love, La Marr became entangled with Philip Ainsworth, a talented dancer. Their marriage was short-lived. She quickly moved on the next, which was Ben Dealey, another dancer who was more than twice her age. Unfortunately, Dealey's struggles with alcoholism and gambling led to the couple's separation almost immediately. Despite her tumultuous personal life, La Marr continued to shine on screen, her beauty and talent capturing the hearts of many. Yet the weight of her past relationships lingered, a reminder of the complexities of love and the pursuit of happiness in a world that often seemed to conspire against her earned her a reputation of a nympho. Number 17. Lupe Velez. Lupe Velez had a tumultuous romantic life that was filled with high-profile relationships and dramatic breakups. Upon her arrival in Los Angeles, she was linked to several famous actors, including Tom Mix, Charlie Chaplin, and Clark Gable. However, her most notable relationship was with Gary Cooper, which began while they were filming Wolf Song. Their passionate relationship lasted for 2 years, but was marked by volatility. Velez was known to have physically assaulted Cooper when she was angry. After her breakup with Cooper, she briefly dated John Gilbert, who was separated from his third wife at the time. Velez also had an on-and-off relationship with Johnny Weissmuller, the actor famous for portraying Tarzan, as well as a romance with Errol Flynn. Velez and Weissmuller eventually married in Las Vegas, but her relationships continued to be complex. She became engaged to actor and polo player Gin Big Boy Williams, but they never tied the knot. Later, she got involved with author Eric Maria Remarque. One of her more complicated affairs was with her La Zandunga co-star Arturo de Cordova. However, it was her relationship with the Austrian actor Harald Maresch, who went by the stage name Harald Ramond, that significantly impacted her life. In September 1944, Velez discovered she was pregnant with Ramond's child and announced their engagement in November. Tragically, just 4 days before her death on December 10, 1944, she revealed that she had ended the engagement and expelled Ramond from her home. Number 18. Mae West. Mae West was a true icon of her time, known for her bold personality and unapologetic sexual independence. With her unique voice and sharp wit, she captivated audiences with her light-hearted double entendres, making her a celebrated sex symbol in the entertainment industry. Her journey began in vaudeville, where she honed her craft and built her reputation as a performer in New York City. It was here that she met Frank Zatkus, who became her husband. At just 17 years old, Mae kept their marriage a secret, but the truth eventually came to light when a filing clerk discovered their marriage certificate. As her career blossomed, Mae found herself in a passionate affair with Guido Dero, an Italian-born vaudeville star. Their romance was intense, and rumors of a possible marriage circulated among them. However, as Mae continued to rise in the entertainment world, her relationships evolved. She had a brief relationship with attorney James Timoney, who was 9 years her senior. Mae's charm and charisma attracted many suitors, including Oni Madden, the notorious owner of the Cotton Club. He was known for not dating chorus girls, but Mae's allure was undeniable. Among her many lovers was the boxing champion William Gorilla Jones. Even later in life, Mae continued to embrace love and romance. At the age of 61, she became romantically involved with Chester Rubinski, a younger muscle man from her Las Vegas stage show. Their relationship defied societal norms, proving that Mae West was not only a trailblazer in her career, but also in her personal life, never shying away from love, regardless of age or convention. Number 19. Joan Crawford. Joan Crawford was a radiant star, known for her fierce ambition and captivating presence. Yet her life was filled with romance and drama, much like the roles she played on screen. One of the most thrilling chapters began when she eloped with Douglas Fairbanks Jr. at St. Malachi's Roman Catholic Church in Manhattan. The couple, though not Catholic, were drawn together by their shared passion for the arts and the allure of fame. Their union had a rush of excitement, but it was just the beginning of Crawford's journey through love. After her brief romance with Fairbanks, Crawford married Franchot Tone, a talented stage actor with dreams of making it big in Hollywood. Together, they created a small theatre at her Brentwood home, hosting intimate productions of classic plays for their famous friends, including the likes of Clark Gable. However, the glitz and glamour of their life could not mask the cracks in their relationship. As Crawford worked tirelessly to promote Tone's career, she found herself growing weary of his lack of ambition. Their attempts to start a family ended in heartbreak, as both pregnancies resulted in miscarriage. The strain took its toll, and Tone's struggles with alcohol led to a dark turn in their marriage, culminating in Crawford filing for divorce. Despite the ups and downs, Crawford's spirit remained unbroken. After her marriage to Tone, she found love again with Philip Terry, but it was her final husband, Alfred Steele, who truly captured her heart. They met at a party, and Steele's position as the president of Pepsi-Cola brought a new chapter of stability and partnership to Crawford's life. Their marriage, filled with mutual respect and admiration, lasted until Steele's untimely death. Number 20. Ava Gardner. Ava Gardner's life was a captivating rush of love and passion, marked by her magnetic allure and a series of relationships that defined her as one of Hollywood's most enchanting stars. Soon after arriving in Los Angeles, she crossed paths with the charismatic Mickey Rooney. Their brisk romance led to a brief marriage, a vivid chapter filled with youthful exuberance and the thrill of newfound fame. However, like many of her early relationships, it was short-lived, as the glitz of Hollywood often masked deeper complexities. Just as the marriage ended, Gardner moved over to the next. Her second marriage to jazz musician Artie Shaw was equally fleeting, a passionate affair that highlighted her attraction to the artistic and the bohemian. Their union, though filled with musical charm and glamour, ultimately yielded to the pressures of their respective careers and personal demons. Yet Gardner's heart was never one to stay still for long. Her most famous relationship was with the legendary Frank Sinatra, a love affair that captured the public's imagination. Their passionate yet stormy romance was a blend of intense love and inevitable heartbreak, reflecting the wild spirit that Gardner embodied. As she navigated through the highs and lows of her relationships, Gardner's life took her to Spain, where she found herself captivated by the world of bullfighting. I know you would think that she had developed a new interest, but that wasn't the case. She was allured by the bullfighter Luis Miguel Dominguin. Their passionate affair was filled with excitement and danger, showing the essence of her adventurous spirit. It still didn't end there, as she was also involved with Mario Cabré, who was another bullfighter. Gardner's relationships were not just about love. They were linked to her insatiable desire for life, adventure, connection, and intimacy.